Here we go. And let's get started. So I'll start the recording. All right, so this is OET Writing Week. It's the final class. I was just saying to these guys, I think personally that the way we've done it this week is quite good because it's breaking down into small little paragraphs. It makes it much easier to manage. I definitely recommend in the exam to try and do this kind of thing. We'll start with a quick game. Guys, can you just tell me, do you all see the document here? Do you all see that? Put your microphones on if you can see.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, but it's very small.
Ewan, what does that say, Ewan? What does that say there?
Nothing.
Say that Alan is a good teacher.
All right, so thank you. I'll pay the money later. So game, I always do the same game because it's so important. Formation, word formation. And also, this is a chance for you guys to get warmed up. Okay, so Hatis, Chevy, Saurab, Afra, Mariella.
Oh.
Try to beat the faster people, right? For example, if I type the word car, just shout out.
Noun.
Noun. Okay, so how fast can you do this? What about this? In.
Preposition.
Good. Good. So you've had Paul's grammar classes, and now can you apply this very fast? Between.
Conjunction.
Conjunction.
Oh, it's not.
Preposition.
Preposition.
I know it looks like a conjunction. What about this one? Because.
Conjunction.
That's the conjunction, right? And what's the difference between conjunctions and prepositions? Bianca and Yulia. What is the difference? Bianca? A preposition connects.
A preposition connects words in a sentence, and the other one connects
Close.
clauses. Yeah,
clauses. That was it. Yeah, clauses. Okay. So if I can say I like cheese because it tastes nice. How many clauses are there?
Two clauses.
There's two, right? And this because is connecting them. Okay. But with I can't say between here, right? Rather, what I could say with a preposition is I could say, I could take this word and I can write between here, right? Is there anything that connects to nice with between? Can anyone think of something? I can think of something. How about months, right? Between March and July, right? So anyway, the difference between prepositions and conjunctions is actually one of the most important things that I see students making mistakes with. All right. Now, what about this? You tell me. What about this one? The
Article.
Article.
Let's try something OET related now. Okay, so let's try something like rebound.
Verb.
It's a verb. What does it mean? In medicine, we use this word, don't we? Rebound. It's a verb. What does it mean?
The attack which comes again. Oh.
Yeah, like usually the skin comes back to shape, right? Comes back. So I think sometimes you can test stomach for rebounding, right? I've seen that in Joshua Vance, for example. So that's the verb. Is there any other forms of this word?
Rebounding.
Rebounding, which would be the gerund. Okay. So if I say there was no rebounding, what type of word is this? It's not I mean, it is a gerund, but what is it? A noun, verb, or adjective?
Noun.
Adjective, I think.
There was no rebounding. I think it's
Adverb.
an adjective.
Adjective. Yeah.
Remember the gerund, he can be an adjective, he can be a noun, and he can be a what? Verb, right? Let's do a test, right? This is still the same formation. What if I say, she is exciting?
Adjective.
Adjective.
Okay. What about if I say, she is boring?
Adjective.
What about if I say this, she is boring me now?
Adjective.
Adjective.
Verb, isn't it?
Verb.
Present continuous. It's happening. It's an event, right?
That can be a verb.
What about this one? Let's do something else. What about treat? You should all know this for OET, right?
Verb.
This is verb.
Verb, okay, so as fast as you can. What about treatment?
Noun.
Noun.
Noun. Is there an adjective form of treat?
Treatable.
Treatable is one adjective form. Yeah, adjective. Is there any others?
Treated.
Treated. Yeah. Oh, very often you can use the ed as an adjective, can't you? The ed suffix. Anything else? Treating.
Treating.
Okay. So if I say the treating doctor was happy, it's an
Adjective.
And what does it mean though? What's the meaning of this adjective, treating? The treating nurse, the treating doctor.
Just who is treating. Who is
The
doing
one
it?
who does it. The one who does it. Okay. What if I say the treated patient?
Adjective.
It's an adjective.
The patient who has been treated by someone.
Those who is being treated. Those who is being
Received it,
treated.
right? This is like receiving the treatment. This one is the one doing the treatment. Okay. What about if I say the condition is treatable? That's different, isn't it? What does it mean? The condition is treatable?
Curable.
Could be treated.
Could be, yes. That means it's like it can be treatable. It can be treatable. And what's the thing that patients never want to hear? They never want to hear the opposite, right?
Not treatable.
Untreatable.
Untreatable.
Treatable, right? I'm sorry, the condition is untreatable. That's a terrible thing to have to tell someone, I guess, right?
Alan, it can be treatable. It can be treatable, or it can be treated.
If you said it can be
It
treatable, it
can
would
be
sound a little
treated.
bit like, yeah, it wouldn't sound so natural. It would sound more like not a native. Just say
Yeah.
it is treatable, right? I suppose, imagine you could say it is treatable.
Say that. It's grammatically correct. Can be treatable.
This is a very good question. If I say this, it means can treat, okay? What if I say it can be treatable sometimes? That sounds more natural now.
Yeah, I thought
What am I saying?
Treated. It can be
Sometimes we can treat, right?
Yeah.
That would be better, like with the idea of like this is happening sometimes, but not always. You know what I mean? But you don't need to use it here because treatable already has that means can. You know what I mean?
This is
Ability.
why
Ability.
this is why I asked Alan, because it sounds better. It can be treated, not treatable.
It is treatable, or you could say it can be. That would be okay if you change it to ed.
Yeah,
it's fine, totally fine. That's a great question. Any other questions like this? This is why I love this game. You see all these different varieties of language. Okay, well, let's get started then. We probably will come back to word formation because it's a writing class, okay? But we'll start with a review. I'll correct as much as you're writing as I can, and then there is no homework. Obviously, it's the last day. But we can maybe have a little bit of a Q&A if we finish, if you want. It depends on time. Okay, so reviewing the names. This is where I want you guys to be ready with your microphones. Yulia, could you say hello? Or Deuce?
Hello.
Name of patient, Yulia? H-D...
DeSanto.
DeSanto. Good. Anyone help with the name?
Hilary DeSanto.
Can I have E1? Can you give me the age, please?
She's 70 years old.
Excellent. And E1, do you remember the condition? Or Mariella as well? Condition?
Surgery.
She had surgery.
Yeah.
Hallux. Does anyone remember? Deuce, you remember?
Hallux
Valgus.
What is that?
Right foot, I think. Right.
Hallux valgus.
Can anyone explain to me, like, imagine you're doing OET speaking and I'm the patient. I don't understand what this means. What would you say? Because that's jargon, isn't it? What would you say, Anil? Nana?
Surgery on your right foot.
What? Say that again, E1?
What did you say?
Imagine you're in OET speaking, right? And you see this in your... What would you say?
I think it is foreign body. Foreign body.
Foreign body.
At the same time, I can't get it. Sorry.
Yeah, there's a few to be people. Nana, you try this. What is this? Can you explain to me as a lay person? What is it? Hallux valgus.
It's type of illness. I mean, it's not illness, condition. Sorry.
You just say condition. Is this some sort of ulcer?
Yes, on your foot. Okay, on your foot when your big toe Do you know where you? So it's more ladies get that than gentlemen. They get like it's like lump next to the
a lump.
Yeah. So
Okay.
and it's removes. They do remove. It's plastic surgery. Surgeons do that. Not necessary. But if it's painful, NHS will take you.
Excellent. Right. Remember, guys, in speaking, you can't use jargon in the speaking test. You should never say that to a patient. You would have to say, this is a lump. Right. And then Nano talked about what causes it as well, which is very good. Okay. So this is the removal of some kind of lump on the right foot.
Small shoes. Small shoes.
Caused by small shoes. Really?
Yeah.
Well, sometimes I have some small shoes. Maybe I shouldn't.
Oh, why do you buy small shoes?
My partner bought them, so I have to wear them. Otherwise, it's rude.
Put them in the bin.
Okay, back to this, guys. What type of letter is it? Mariella, please, and Hussein and Anka. The letter type is discharge.
Discharge letter.
Do you remember on Monday, though, I said this doesn't matter. The letter types don't matter. Afra, could you say hello to Atis?
Hi.
Why do letter types not really matter? There is no, what's that word, guys? Help them out, guys. There is no
Template.
template. Right? Because all of the situations are very different. If you learn a template, you'll find probably a lot of problems in the exam. Okay, so it's a discharge letter. Her name is Hilary DeSanto. She's 70 years old. She had this operation. On Monday, we produced a plan, didn't we? We made this plan here. I just want to be clear on this. How many paragraphs are there? Anil, Rabia, if you want to type, you could type in the chat. Andrea, how many paragraphs? It's not 3, is it? Anil,
No.
Andrea,
No.
how many?
It's 5.
5.
Okay. And why is there 5? Because we only have requests here. Maybe Hatis, could you tell us? Or Chevy? Why do we only have requests here and nothing here? What is this?
I don't know.
It's the same paragraph.
Review.
The same idea, isn't it?
Yeah, the review of that.
It's kind of like we have, basically we have 3 request paragraphs here. So it's like a sandwich with 3 pieces of bread at the end. Okay. But why did we do that? Sarah, please. Or if we could have Florina, if you could say hello. Why did we break down? Why not just have this as 1 paragraph?
For conciseness.
Because
Sarah, Florina, for conciseness.
Because of the
Clarity, I would say.
It's easy to deliver the idea.
It's easy to deliver the ideas. It's easier to read it.
Yeah.
And it's better, guys, for organization and layout. Remember? You're going to score higher here with these 3 paragraphs. So we did this on Monday. We wrote the introduction on Tuesday. On Wednesday, we wrote the timeline and the first request paragraph. Yesterday, what did we write, guys? What type of paragraph?
Yesterday we wrote follow-ups. Yeah.
Fantastic. And Anil, I think you wrote this homework. Did you write this for homework? Anil?
Yeah.
You did, right? And lots of you did. Microphones off, please. Anil, how did you find this? Give me some feedback. Was it difficult or easy? Any challenges here? Let's try and you can all come in here as well, guys. Did you have any experience, any questions when you were writing it?
Maybe to create sentence, to put so many information together.
Yeah, to put them into this. You don't want to have 5 sentences here, do you? That would be really bad. Very short sentences. Does anyone remember what I said yesterday not to say? Look, if you look at my camera, what should we not say?
Weightlifting. Weightlifting.
The weightlifting is the sport. Okay. What do we say instead?
Just lifting weight.
Lifting weight.
Lifting weight.
Okay. So this, it seems like you didn't have too many difficulties with this. Does anyone remember what difficulties did we have with this yesterday? Does anyone remember? What errors did we see that we can avoid in the future?
The place was not written
probably department was missing in full
Yeah, that was a very common error,
Yes.
wasn't it? Yeah. In fact, why was that? A lot of you wrote osteopathy outpatients.
I
Why
think
did you do
because in
that?
case notes is missing the word department.
Yeah, exactly. So that was a trick though, right? Because you can't copy the case notes. You have to think about it. So yeah, that was one of the most common, Alina, that was one of the most common errors actually. People not putting department in. Any other problems from yesterday? Do we remember? It was just clarity, wasn't it? Some were clear, some were not. One person put them both together. One person wrote these two together. And I think it was a bit complicated. So anyway, it's better to break them down. And we're going to focus on this today. And I'm going to get started. All right, so let's look at the first paragraph that was submitted. I don't know whose this is. We can do this anonymously, or if this is yours, you're welcome to say, hello, this is me. Don't mind, whichever one you want. First thing here, guys, is obviously spacing. So I don't know if this is a problem, but let me just read it. And I want, if I say your name, try to tell me what the problem is. Okay, so Ruwan, if you could say hello, Ruwan. You came in a bit late. We'll try you though. And Anil and Bridget, you three, okay? Hello?
Hello, hi.
In terms of the post-operative care,
Hello.
Miss C. Santo. So,
This one.
yeah, thank you. So just Bridget for this next one, please. Mr. Santo requires bed rest. Bridget, is this one word or two words?
Supposed to be one.
I think, is it one word, guys? What does it say in the case notes?
It's separate.
It's not separate.
Oh,
I think it's two words. You
Just go with it.
don't they?
I think you can have both.
Lesson.
I think you can have both, but always just copy the case notes, whatever they say, because sometimes there's this, it's unclear. Right? Hussein, go on.
And is, I think here it is additional and.
Yeah, this is a problem here, isn't it? So and. So Bridget, which one should I remove? This one or this one?
No, the first one.
The first N.
Bridget, please. Yeah.
N.
This one.
Yeah.
So bed rest and elevated foot. Is this right? Let me ask this to Hatis, please. Again, Hussein, you can come in for this one. And elevated foot, is that right? She requires bed rest and elevated foot.
No, because
It is the present.
Maybe grammatically.
Well, we could put it, we need an article.
And
Thank you, Nana.
It wasn't another way around, that's all.
But it's, yeah, exactly. It still doesn't sound very natural, though. So can we paraphrase it, maybe? Rephrase? Let's try Deuce. Could you say hello?
And hello, and
So,
keep
say,
her foot elevated.
yes, and to keep her foot elevated. Excellent, right? It's not really wrong, but it just sounds so much more real.
Yeah.
Like this. Okay, let's continue. Please note that she needs to avoid lifting as well as an application of ice packs on her foot when needed. Kindly, what's wrong here? E1, just E1, please. Or Yulia?
Sir, lifting is not specified, sir.
With one unit comma, yeah.
No, we'll focus on this one for a second, Saurabh, but I'll bring you in a second, Saurabh. So no comma. Why, guys? Why is there no comma here? It's just not a linking word. It's not a linking word, okay? It's part of the
clause.
Part of the clause. Yeah, this is an imperative clause. Okay. So we don't say, for example, please buy me coffee. We don't put a comma here. Right? It's just this word please is part of the request itself.
Alan.
Okay, quite a bad error. Yes, go on.
And if you say buy me coffee, please, will you put comma after buy me coffee?
You will, yes. If you say buy me coffee, exactly, please, you will. Okay. And the reason is we're taking the word please out of its usual place.
Thank you.
I think this is I guess this would be, please would be some kind of adverb, maybe, because this is the verb. So whenever you move the adverb out of its place, which is before the verb, usually, you're going to put a comma to show that. Okay. I could talk about that a bit more at the end. It's not super important, but I'll write that down. Sarah, you said there was a problem with something. What was your problem, Sarah?
Sir, I think that it should be specified what kind of lifting it is. Heavy object.
Yeah, it's not.
Avoid
This could be any lifting, right? Yeah, you're right, sir. I think that would be better to say. Well, what does it say in the case notes, actually, Sarah? What does it say? Can we all see?
Weight bearing.
It's actually weight bearing here.
Yeah.
So probably better actually to say that rather than lifting. But I think we don't need it doesn't matter basically, Sarab, okay? But to be more accurate, Anil, probably it's better to say avoid weight bearing, right?
Weight bearing.
So this is probably my fault because I put this here in the case notes, okay? But obviously, guys, go with the case notes, whatever it says there, okay? Weight bearing it's not note form, it's perfectly grammatical, all right? So thank you there, Sarah. We'll come back to that one as well. Let me just finish this. It could be appreciated. One second.
Alan,
One
is
second,
there
guys.
another?
Go on.
Is there another problem? Because she needs to avoid lifting, and then she needs to avoid an application of ice packs.
Yeah, so this is actually a very problematic sentence, isn't it? Let's come back to this, okay? It would be appreciated if you could assist. Let's continue here. Miss DeSanta with her ADL's needs. Again, we have some issues. Mariella, could you say hello? Andrea?
Yes.
ADL's needs?
It's the same thing, ADLs.
We can just have ADLs. I suppose, Bridget, we could say this. We could say that, guys. ADL needs. But again, this is a little bit like note form, isn't it? A little bit like note form. The reader will understand, but how can I change that into normal language? Maybe Nana or Shelly? How can I change this into normal language with her
Daily activities of daily living.
So activities of daily living.
I think when it's easy.
And we can remove showering and
ADLs.
toilet use.
And then we don't need that. You're right. Yes, it's actually
because daily living is showering.
Yeah, totally.
Everything.
Excellent. Should you have any queries, please don't hesitate to contact me. Yours sincerely, Nurse.
Yeah.
Let's focus again on this one again, because this sentence is problematic. So does everyone see what Bianca is saying here? Because it's a very good point.
We change the purpose, basically.
Are we avoiding ice packs?
No, we need them to use when needed.
We need
If required.
But that's our verb, right? That's the verb in the sentence, right? And then you have an object, lifting, but then you have as well as, and now you have the second object. So the verb avoid will apply to application as well as lifting. So this is wrong, isn't it? This is inaccurate. Yes. Nice one, Bianca.
Alan, can I ask you something, please?
Please.
Yes, Alan, the first sentence requires bed rest and to keep her foot elevated. That requires apply to keep her foot elevated as well. If it does, I remember require must follow gerund, now with to something. Is that right?
Okay. So are you Ling, are you saying that requires is the verb here? Yeah.
Yes.
And we got requires bed rest and
on the top you say keep.
Well, here we're changing the verb. Now we have keep. So I think it's okay. What do you mean?
Okay, but my question was, does it require apply to keep?
Right. No, it doesn't.
No.
Yeah, it doesn't. Very good point. Because we're bringing in a new verb, it doesn't. It won't. We won't. The reader will not understand requires to keep.
Okay.
But that's a very, very good point, because you can put verbs together. Okay. Wait a second. Let me just double check. So let me read it out loud. also, there's an error here. We all missed this. What's the problem here, guys?
Yes.
In terms.
of.
So in terms of the post-operative care, Miss DeSanta requires bed rest and to keep her foot elevated. Actually, Link, I didn't even notice, but I think you're right, actually. Does everyone see what she's saying here?
Yeah, I
Can
noticed,
we
but
say
I thought
requires to
maybe
keep
it's
quiet?
going to apply.
We don't normally put the infinitive after requires. Can't do it.
Yeah.
So,
Alan,
Ling, the solution is very simple, isn't it, Ling? We're just going to change to
Need.
right? But the problem now is we have repetition here.
Mm.
Note that you could say also needs, I suppose, to solve that problem. Go on, Bianca.
yeah, what about if we say require bed rest with foot elevated, with her foot elevated?
Yeah, so we can go back. That's probably a better solution, actually, guys. So we're going to say, so I just like this. This was a good phrase from Deuce, but we could use a noun phrase, right? So we can say the elevation
Of her foot.
of her foot. Okay. Nice, Ling. I really like that. I don't know whose this is, but just be careful when you've got two items in your sentence. It's a bit like listing, really, isn't it? The verb will apply to both the items in the sentence. For example, simple example, Alan drank, right? Coke, wine, I don't know why I'm drinking so much, and bread. What's wrong? What's wrong with that sentence?
We need a verb in front of
Yeah,
it.
it means
You
Alan is also
don't drink
like
bread.
Right?
You don't drink bread.
In the same way, you can't require to keep, and you can't avoid ice packs, because, well, that's just the opposite, isn't it? Okay. Questions on this one before we move on to Anil's next one. Does anyone have any questions here?
Yeah, my question.
Go on, Anil. And then we'll
my
take
question about the last sentence. Kindly encourage her to use crutches. It's absolutely fine, but according to the case notes, can we write encourage? Like in the case notes, it is saying that she needs to encourage to use crutches, or just she has been provided.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Good point.
accuracy. Thank you, Anil. I think it just says provided, equipment required. So there is no, so this is a lot of detail today, but actually this is not here. That's not necessary. You're adding in something. Where did this come from? So try to avoid doing that, guys. Obviously, this is an exam. Things like this, they're small things possibly, but if you do too many of them, you're going to lose marks. Okay. I really love the way this is like operation, isn't it? Like surgery on this paragraph. Lots of things here. Okay. One more question. I'm going to move on because we've only done one paragraph. Hussein, I think, had a question, or was there someone else?
Oh, it was better, I think, because Miss DeSanta requires bed rest and elevated foot, because you longer the sentence that with the elevation of her foot.
Well, you can't say and elevated. It has to be a noun phrase.
Okay.
So we don't have a choice, unfortunately.
Thank you.
But conciseness is always good. Anyone else?
Yeah, I'm asking, can we say bed rest with foot elevated?
No, that doesn't sound good.
With foot elevation.
Yeah, so you're either going to say this one or this one. These are two good options. But the problem with this one, and as Ling says, is you can't use that with requires. It has to be need. Okay. I should do a video on requires and needs. I should do that because they seem to be synonyms, but actually they're not exactly the same in terms of grammar. Okay. Thank you, Ling. Amazing, Ling. Great spot. Let's move on to this though, because we have Anil. Anil, could you say hello?
Hello.
So we'll have Anil. Anil, when I stop, you're going to tell me if there's an error, okay? So guys, listen to this. It would be appreciated if you could provide Miss DeSanta with ongoing care and monitoring. It is important to note that she has been provided crutches, and in addition to that, she needs to avoid lifting weights. Now.
Lifting weights.
Yeah, now there's a problem. Do you see the small problem, Anil?
Yeah, with S, I think.
S. And again, if you say lifting weights, that makes me think a little bit of the
Exercise.
right? Just the singular. So avoid lifting weight. Or why don't we just say, guys, you should be looking at the case notes as well as my plan, right? It's not just my plan. Better would be
Weight bearing. Weight bearing.
Okay. Was there a hyphen? I can't remember. I think there was a hyphen.
Yeah, actually, I didn't see the case notes.
Sir.
I just follow the plan.
What does weight bearing mean? Does anyone know what that means?
Picking up some weight.
Bearing, like
Heavier
the
than your weight.
To bear?
to bear the weight, possible to
Well,
bear
I
like
think-
No, you can't put
Nana,
pressure on
go
your
on.
food. It's bearing.
What does it mean to bear, the verb, guys?
Is to support.
tolerance.
To
It's to
support,
tolerate.
yeah, to support or to hold.
Mhm.
Yeah, so you can't put pressure on your food. So you need to lift your food. Don't.
Yeah, so that would be much more accurate, I think, than lifting weights. Okay. Okay, so let's move on to this. So, and her foot needs to be elevated. That's okay. She also requires taking bed rest as well as applying ice packs if needed. Does anyone see any problems here? Because I only see that one issue. Does anyone see any issues here?
Sir, is it okay if I say to avoid lifting heavy objects?
Yeah, you can say that, but it's weight bearing, isn't it? Right. So I would just say, stay with the case notes. Remember, bear means hold. Avoid lifting heavy objects. I think it's not exactly the same. You know what I mean, Sarah?
Yes, sir.
It's more about her foot. We can make an inference that this is bad. We can make an inference, if you know what I'm talking about with the reading, right? But it's not directly accurate here. But my question is, do we see any errors other than this? I think the answer is no, right, guys? I think this is a pretty good one. Very nice, Anil, very nice. Okay, let's move on to the next one then, because maybe we can see some other things. So regarding Mr. Santos' post-operative care, nice. The elevation of her right foot, so we have this noun phrase here thing. The elevation of right foot and bed rest are to be necessary. Nana, Bridget? Nana and Bridget, Hattis? What's wrong here with that?
Elevation of the right foot and bed rest to be necessary.
To be?
To be. So is to be already and to be as to be.
Just we can say is necessary.
Is there more than one? Bridget, do we have one thing or
yes, it's more than one at the same time.
Yeah, one thing.
Infinitive and yes, so unnecessary.
Yeah. You're right, Nana. It's the be verb 2 times, and we don't need that. That means something different if you use that twice like that. So we can just say are necessary, as well as avoiding weight bearing. Hey, this is nice then. Okay. Please be aware of the fact that crutches have been provided by us. Is that true? Because I think that's right, isn't it, guys? It is us.
It's right. Was provided by us.
So that's a nice little.
A nice part will be.
You show that you're aware of who the writer is.
Yeah.
No, us is fine. It is formal. Yeah. So us will be useful if needed.
Yeah, that's
an
good.
ice pack will be useful if needed. Will be useful, guys. Is that right?
Why not? Will be useful to use.
Useful is like
will be useful to
apply
if needed.
Needed if needed.
This word useful sounds slightly strange.
Useful.
Yeah, let's change useful, guys.
And just leave the needed.
Apply ice pack
Ice
if
pack.
needed.
And ice pack will. So let me read from the start. So please be aware of the fact that crutches have been provided by us and
ice pack.
An ice pack if needed.
An ice pack. No, we need something here.
Should be used.
Yeah, should be used. Could work. Should be used.
Should be used if needed.
You could say can be used.
Or can be used if needed.
You can actually say should be here as well. Let's say can to be safe. Additionally, preserve her skin integrity after the removal of her boot. Ooh, did we mention the skin integrity and the removal of the...
No, I wanted to say, but
But is it in the case notes?
I think it was
Yes.
here. It was, oh, maybe we forgot to put it in. Let's have a look at the case notes.
Preserve skin integrity after
Preserve.
removal of food.
Yeah. And we didn't put that in the follow-up, did we? I thought it was here, but it's not.
We did use this with boot in previous paragraph.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you use like skin integrity, but boot, I'm sure that we did use this word like in previous paragraph.
So guys, look, you can follow my plan, right? But remember, I'm typing that very fast at the end of the class. You should always check my homework, right? I think that should be here. And I did give you the copy of the case notes on the classes. I gave you 3 documents, remember? So I think that's, who did this one? This person is actually reading the case notes.
Yeah, it's mine.
Ah, Ling, fantastic. Okay, really, really high quality, excellent. Also, I'm still working on that thing we discussed yesterday regarding the audio clip that you need. So I'll come back to you on that. Does anyone see any, let's try and be critical. Does anyone see any errors here? Because it looks like a really nice paragraph. Maybe you can see something that I missed.
Concise, good.
It's very concise. I think it's good. I'm going to be making a model letter from this week, guys. So I'll post that model letter into the Skype chat. And I think probably I'll use this paragraph, maybe a Neil's paragraph as well. I might combine them. Very nice. Okay, let's have a look at this next one. In view of the above, please provide Miss DeSanta with ongoing care and assistance. In addition to helping her with ADLs, kindly assure. So it's okay to say ADLs, but again, it is note form, isn't it? Am I wrong? I know the reader is a note form. The reader is a nurse, but we instead, Anil will just say
activities of daily living.
You all know what it means, right? You can just type it out. So let me start again. In addition to helping her with what do I need here, guys? Anyone?
With her.
Okay. So in addition to helping her with her activities of daily
Her
living.
with her, no, that's the same type of subjects.
You can have both. No. You can have both, yeah. Yeah. In fact,
Yeah, we can write wrong. Like that.
If you don't put it, it doesn't sound right. Okay. So kindly ensure that she rests with her foot elevated, refrains from heavy lifting, and applies ice packs on her foot when necessary. Whose is this? Is this yours, Bianca? No, yeah. It is. Yeah. I guessed it. Yeah. Okay. Really, really nice. Really nice. It is important to know that her skin needs to be kept intact after the removal of her boot. Please also note that her crutches were provided by our hospital. What do we think here, guys? We have the skin point as well, which is nice.
Yeah, this is good.
Really nice. Really nice. This is the kind of thing that Neshka would write. I don't know if anyone remembers Neshka.
Where is Neshka?
Yeah, where is she?
We said just stay in the school. she had life. She had something else that she had to sort out, I think. Just didn't
I thought she passed the exam and she's gone.
No, she didn't. It's very strange because she didn't really have any pressure to do the exam, so she never did it.
Okay, I think that's
why. She
never
told me why. I didn't want to. Does anyone know this verb? Pry. What does that mean?
Right.
I didn't want to pry.
To be indiscreet.
To pry. Anyone?
Like insist. Like insist.
To ask questions that are personal.
Okay.
To be noisy.
Nosy, exactly. I didn't want to say, okay, well, why? Why are you?
Why are you leaving us?
She bought a house, and I think she just said that she had lots of life things to sort out and had no time for study. But she never did the exam. Crazy, huh? She would pass like that. Honestly.
Yeah, of course. She is a great.
She never did it
in study.
She didn't. It's a bit like. Do you guys know Han? Han is often in the classes, right?
Yes.
Well,
even now she's on Skype sending to us all stuff.
She's been studying OET for like 3 years. She doesn't want to do the exam. She just wants to get better with her medical English, I think. So again, if Anne did the exam, I think she would pass. She's been doing it many years. Yeah. She studies in she's doing like
she's also doing study in the Australia, I think.
She does other things as well. Anyway, sorry guys, let me just say this is a very nice paragraph. Does anyone see any problems here?
No.
Am I being too nice to her? Come on, there must be something.
I'm not used to
There must be something. No, I can't see anything. Okay, maybe later. If anyone sees anything, let me know. Okay, so let's have a look at this one. Affectionately. So straight away, what does affectionately mean? Does anyone know?
Affection.
With care and love, maybe.
With love, yeah, with love and yeah. So it's not appropriate for this type of letter. Okay, you might say that to a friend. Yeah, I think it should be additionally or something. But that's not the best way to start a new paragraph. What's a good phrase, guys? Someone give me one. Julia.
Please beware.
Regarding.
I'm gonna ask Nima. Nima, could you say hello? Nima, sorry, I forgot you today. Or Nestle Han, could you say hello? Come on.
Hello.
Okay, so I just want a phrase that I can use at the start. Like, what can I say? How do we start request paragraphs?
Mentioned above.
Nestle Han? No? What about if I say this?
It would be appreciated.
Yeah, it would be appreciated. Yeah, that's good.
Or in the view of the above.
Let her
If you could.
Oh, sorry.
If you could.
Make sure.
Yeah, that Miss. I think this is okay, guys. Mrs. Is it Mrs.?
No, Miss.
Married. She's not married. Miss Hillary. So this is who's saying this isn't right. Miss Hillary. What should it be? Who's saying?
I think Hillary was with double L. I'm not sure.
De Santo.
And also, this might be spelt wrong. Okay, so it's De Santo, guys. Do you remember, Sarab? We were talking about this on Tuesday. What does it sound like if you say, for example, Mr. Allen or Mr. Paul? How does that sound?
Childish.
Sounds childish, yeah. So avoid saying that, especially when you come to the UK. What can you say then? If you want to be respectful to someone, what should you say? Imagine it's your boss, for example.
Mr. Wenham.
You use surname.
Second is Mr. Wenham, Mr. Craven.
Or full name.
In a letter, you can just use the full name, so Alan Wenham. Probably even in the NHS, though, even your boss will use the first name, don't you think, these days? I can't imagine any boss these days saying, call me Mr. Wenham. Maybe I'm wrong. Even the Prime Minister will use his first name, right? Remember Boris? It was always the first name with Boris. Anyway, so let's use the surname, not Miss Hillary, okay? Let me finish this, guys. Assist her to use. So, Hatis, could you say hello? And I'm going to ask again, if I can ask Leslie Han, Nima, assist her to use. What's wrong? Assist her to use? You three?
Crutches? How can you assist to use?
Just those, try those three. Nestle Han, Nima, I forgot about you guys. Assist her to use? They don't know? Just give them a bit of thinking time. Anchor? What about Anchor or E1? Ruan?
Because about assist her to use, she can say
it's not to use, is it? Right?
Yeah.
What would you Anchor? What would you change that to? Assist her? It's a preposition. Anyone?
Alan, what about make sure? Is it all right to keep make sure?
I think it's okay in general. It's got a very small, like informal sound, but it's not massively informal, so it's probably okay. More formal would be, what would be more formal?
Ensure.
Yeah, exactly. Ensure is more formal. That's a great point there. Okay, so assist her with the crutches provided by the hospital. Additionally, she has been recommended bed rest as well as the application of ice packs if needed. Okay, what do we think now, guys?
Alan, as Anil said before, is not in the case the fact that you should assist her with the crutches.
Okay, thank you. So this is not here, is it? And we should not add in any extra ideas in the letter, of course. Don't put your own things in there. Okay, so why have you added this? Okay, any questions so far about anything we've said? I'll keep going, but does anyone want to ask about anything in general, things you've seen here? Put your microphone on, don't be shy. We can discuss. No? All right, let's keep going. Deuce, could you say hello, Deuce, Julia, E1?
Hello. Hello.
Okay, so you tell me what's wrong here. On discharge. What's wrong?
Discharge.
Discharge.
Spelling,
yes.
tell me. D-I-S. What's the spelling? D-I-S.
Is
A-R.
to change the
H-E.
And remove that one, right? So on discharge and Deuce, is that right? Miss, like this?
no, we
it's
do
better.
not S.
M-S.
Hillary is also
Center is
Santa.
saying educated.
And no, with a E.
Educated. Is that true? Has she been educated?
No,
It's not mentioned.
complicated.
Yeah, nothing there. Also, there's a grammar point here. Maybe let's focus on the tenses. This is a very good example of when we should. Let me ask Anil this because he'll probably know, or maybe
Was educated.
just Anil, please, or Chevy.
Yeah, hello.
Chevy. Also, I want someone who
Hello.
hasn't spoken yet. There's someone here that I haven't really spoken to. What's her name? Is it Ling? If you could come on, you would be perfect for this. Or Jyothi. Sorry, I didn't realize it was Jyothi. You three, you have to solve this problem. The problem is, what tense should that be? Answer?
Has been, maybe if
What
according
tense?
to the case notes.
What tense? What tense? Yeah, that's right. What tense is that, guys?
Perfect. Present. Passive.
Has been
Has been.
educated is the present
Yeah.
perfect.
Present perfect.
Passive.
Passive. Okay. So let's think about this, right? The person writing this sentence is thinking, okay, I know this is not in the case notes, but let's imagine, just imagine, it is true. She is educated now. Why is it wrong to say she is educated? Because it's true that she is educated. You know what I mean?
But
Yeah,
it is like
means
a
like
general
It is not
going
present
to,
now. It's
she's going to receive any academic or any school education like that. Like we are going to educate her
previous
about
action.
study.
Because it's
Education
ongoing.
subject.
Do with the so who said previous action? Yes.
Because
I'd
it's
say it's
ongoing and it started and still continue. It has been.
It's
Yeah,
not
that's what-
continued,
it's not
right?
present,
It's
yeah,
not
it is.
continued, right? It's remember this, guys, very important. It's a past action, finished
Continuously.
Yeah.
with
Still
consequences.
true for now.
Had
In
been
Ah,
educated.
Present. Yeah.
Had been
consequences in the present moment. Okay,
Had
that,
been educated, yeah?
yeah, Margarita, you're here.
Yeah. Had
Has
been
been, yeah, has been educated. Oh, not education, sorry, yeah, you're right, sorry, but past participle. So, classic example of when you need to use present perfect, okay? You want to talk about the present moment, which is what she wants to do, right? That's why she's using present simple, right? But there's a past action with consequences now, right? So I can say, for example, here, the window is open, but what could I say? What's a past action?
I open already.
Has been.
I have left. Yeah, I have left the window open. See what I mean? That past action, leaving the window open, means I use present perfect. Okay. So obviously, I don't have time for a full class, but I think this is a very good example of when you need to use it. You're talking about now, but there's a past action with consequences in the present. Okay.
Sir,
Yes, questions, go on.
sir, what about in post-operative care? Is it better to write regarding post-operative care or about post-operative care? I think that sounds much better.
Then on discharge. I think you're right,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
you're right, because all of this is on all of the paragraphs, the request paragraphs are about the after the discharge. So Sarah, I think you're right. So we can say regarding her, Sarah,
Post-operative care.
Post-operative care.
Okay, so regarding her post-operative care, Mr. Santo has been educated.
In
post-operative care. That's wrong. She hasn't. Okay, but the grammar's also strange here. She requires elevation. Margarita, what's wrong with that? Elevation.
She and the
elevation?
No, she requires elevation of her.
Elevation.
No, you can just use the an. Why do we use the n here?
Because started from the
Vowel.
This is very strange now, but I need a preposition.
In first sentence, we can't write twice. In her post-operative care, Mrs. Hillary is educated.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
So let's just get rid of all of this, right? We don't need it, do we? Right? So regarding a post, thank you, Nana. That's a very good point. She requires an elevation. So I'm going to put a preposition here, guys. What preposition?
Of her.
Yes.
Now, people are joining us today because they think it's speaking club. There's no speaking club on Fridays, guys. Okay, I'm going to let these people in, but they're going to be very disappointed. Okay, so it requires an elevation of. Now, if we're going to use of,
Ismail writing. Sorry, I'm in the wrong class, I think. No, Ismail, you're not in the wrong class. It just there is no speaking class.
There's no speaking club. Yeah, guys, if you just check, I know we've had issues with the calendar, but there's never speaking club on Friday. Okay, so if you're waiting for speaking club, I'm really sorry. I can have a bit of an informal chat with you if you want. I'm happy to do that. Okay, anyway, look, so guys, this would change to the. I'm sorry, but it becomes the because of, right? That's really hard for me to explain. I don't have time to explain that, all right? But it should be, she requires the elevation of her right foot and bed rest, as well as avoiding to lift. Again, we have this problem with to lift. What's wrong with this? Avoiding to lift. It should be lifting, yeah, right? So let's think about this, because we've seen this error. This is the second time we've seen the error. After avoid, what can I have after avoid?
Now.
Alan avoided to eat as he is overweight. I don't know why I'm saying this. That's wrong, isn't it? So after avoid, we always have. What's the verb?
Gerund or noun.
Gerund.
Yeah, gerund or noun. And I'm sure Paul has talked about this, right? So we have the gerund or noun. Yeah, eating. Yeah, eating, right? So that's the second time we've seen that error. Try to avoid this, guys. Try to avoid this problem. Okay, so we're going to change this to ing. So as well as avoiding lifting weight. That's okay. It's not weights, but we're going to say any weight. And we already discussed this. It should be weight bearing. Okay, so let me just change this to weight bearing. Let me put any here and I'll put weight bearing here. Weight bearing. Okay, and please, she applies. What's wrong with this, guys? And please, she applies. This is an imperative, right? With the please. Yeah. So does an imperative subject?
Please ensure that she applies, maybe.
We can say please or kindly. After please or kindly, what are we having?
Imperative.
Verb one, right? Present tense verb. Please ensure, please buy me, please give me, please help me. Okay, so please ensure ice as required. Therefore, comma, could you please take over care of this patient?
Ice packs, yeah, Mama.
Yeah, ice pack, yeah. Good. And what's wrong here, guys? Just to finish this class.
We know the name, so
yours.
There's no apostrophe here. Okay.
Yeah, and will be yours faithfully because we know the name.
We talked. Yeah, we didn't actually talk about this here, right? Should it be sincerely or faithfully?
So much changed.
You can Google that with sincerely or faithfully, but yeah, knowing the name does change it. I don't tend to focus on that very much, Alina, because I think it's different in different countries. Like, I don't think Australia and New Zealand and the USA all do the same thing. So I just avoid it. But look, just Google it, and just however you do that, just do it the same way each time. Okay, that's all we need from that. Guys, there is no speaking club. I'm going to finish this session, but there's one last point to make, okay? And the point is a very simple one. Does everyone see there's a big error here? There's a word here that OET do not like. What is that word?
Therefore.
Maybe
as
therefore.
well as-
Maybe therefore is, but no, that's okay.
So they like therefore.
Patient.
Yes.
Could you please?
Patient.
Patience. But
Patient,
So everyone should know this. This is basic stuff. OET don't like patient. Nana, why don't they like this word? Tell me
I don't know why. Honestly, I don't know. I can argue about it because when you take OSCE, it's all about patient. This is the problem. I think it's because Australian. I don't think.
No, this is from the GMC and the NMC. So this is even in OSCE.
It's still very strange. On OSCE, you're allowed to write everything in the care plan. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's because it's not potentially public facing, right? So it sounds
informal.
No, it sounds very formal. Sounds very formal. It sounds
maybe it sounds like
unfriendly and cold.
Unfriendly. Patient.
Yeah.
If I'm impatient.
I know. It's silly. It is silly.
Silly. I don't know, because I did write one letter, OET letter, not write, read, and there is client.
Yeah.
And I don't know, client in clinic, client.
Well, these words, this is just official. I'm sorry to mute you guys. This is just official policy for the GMC and the NMC. Okay, they don't like those words because they think that does anyone know this word? Dehumanizes. What does that mean? Dehumanize.
You don't value person as a person.
Yeah. Okay. So
like a degrade.
Yeah, but what about client?
Client would be the same. Would be the same. But look, guys, it doesn't really matter so much, okay? Because you're not going to fail your writing just for using the word patient one time, okay? This would be a genre and style error only. And to really lose marks in genre and style, you have to be doing that 3, 4, 5 times. You know, lots of bad style errors. Okay, so just one word, it's not a big problem. I'm just letting you know, this is not my opinion, it's OET. There's another word they hate as well. And again, Nana, you're gonna hate this, but it's just true. I'm just giving you the facts. It begins with S. They don't like
Suffering.
Now,
I don't agree with this myself personally. You should be able to say, and of course, Nana.
But in all it's suffering. It's suffering. You can read it.
Yes, exactly. But just avoid it in your exams. We just need to.
They don't want to, but it's very strange. Yes, to this word, it's very strange because it's reality. I mean,
in reality, doctors and nurses all the time will say patient, probably in writing, and they'll say suffering from all the time. Okay. But I did teach a lady once who studied at Oxford. She was a doctor. She studied at Oxford. She got her medicine degree from Oxford. And she said also, they said the same thing about suffering in Oxford. So I thought, okay, must be something. Anyway, look, guys, I have to finish now. Thank you so much for all of your submissions. If you don't see your work here, don't worry. It will be graded. It will be graded. If you're here for the speaking club, again, there's no speaking club on Friday, but apologies for, I know we're having IT problems with the calendar at the moment. So the IT people, they are working very hard on it now. Hopefully it'll be finished. It'll be fixed very soon. Okay. Thanks, guys. Nurses, I will see you all next week.
Okay.
Reading and listening.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, see you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.